Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This video is about Night in June, which is a poem written by William Wordsworth. This poem is taken from the New Oxford Modern English Book 4. In this video, we are talking about the complete exercises of A Night in June. I hope you must have watched the video before this, in which there was the explanation and the stanza translation of the Night in June. So let's have a look at this. The first exercise of every chapter, I think, in the New Oxford Modern English or the understanding of the poem. So the first question related to this one is, how are the stars appearing in the sky? How are the stars seen in the sky? So it's said in the poem that the stars are appearing by twos and threes. Second question is, have the birds stopped their singing? So the answer is the birds have not stopped their singing yet. They are still piping, or they are piping. Yeah. Question number next. Where are the little birds? So the little birds are among the bushes and trees. What sounds can be heard? There are present some sounds which are heard. So what are those sounds? Those sounds are piping of little birds, cuckoo's sovereign cry, rushing of wind and gushing of water can all be heard. These are the sounds which can all be heard in the poem. What fills the sky? The sky is filled by the cuckoo's sovereign cry. The cuckoo's cry fills the sky. These questions are more difficult. Discuss them first. Question number 1. Why do you think the stars appear in the sky in the way described in the poem? It means that why is it said in the poem that the stars are appearing by twos and three? Why not it? Why don't it fill the sky? So it is said so because they appeared like this, because even though the sun has set, there is still light in the sky. So due to the light, some stars are invisible. As the sky gets darker, more stars become visible. I mean to say that the sun has set. It's right that the sun has set, but there is still the light of the sun in the sky. So because of this light, there are several stars which are invisible. So as the sky is getting darker and darker, more stars are becoming visible. Question number 2. Why do you think the poet calls the cuckoo's cry sovereign? Why is the poet calling the cuckoo's cry mighty or superior or super or loud or sovereign? Why is it called so? The cuckoo's cry is loud enough to fill the sky, and it seems superior to the other sounds. Therefore, the poet calls it sovereign. Just like other sounds, the gushing, the rushing, or the piping, which are heard in the poem, this sound is a little bit louder and it seems like it's filling the hollow of the sky. Therefore, it's called a sovereign cry. Answer the questions about this line from the poem. There is a line presented here. The little birds are piping yet. About this line, there are some questions we'll be answering. What are those questions? This sentence means, what's the meaning of this sentence? The birds are little, but they are piping. The birds are still piping even though it's late. The birds are piping bird. So I think it's the second one. The birds are still piping even though it's late. What time of the day it is? So it's evening. Where are the birds piping? The birds are piping among the bushes and trees. What kind of birds are mentioned in the poem? Cuckoos and thrushes. Note down the rhyming words in the poem. The rhyming words which are not in the poem, they are set, yet, trees, trees, thrushes, rushes, gushes, cry, and sky. These are the rhyming words which are noted down in the poem. Do the rhyming words form a pattern? Do they form certain type of rhyming scheme while these rhyming words are used in the poem? So do they have some specific type of rhyming scheme or rhyming pattern or not? So I think it has. The pattern of the poem is A, B, C, C, D, D. if you are getting confused while you are figuring out the rhyming scheme, the rhyming pattern of the poem, or you have difficulty finding out the rhyming scheme of the poem, so here is a little demo presented to you how to find out the rhyming scheme or the rhyming pattern of any type of the poem. Just look at the whole poem structure. There are the last, every sentence has one last colorful word. So all the last words are colored. It means that they are the rhyming words. Look at the first word. The first word is set, then the second is trees. So the set is the first sound that's heard in the poem, so therefore we gave the name a. For example, we call this sound a. Set is the first sound, set. So we call it a. Now look at the second sound. The stars are out by twos and threes. So now this is threes. The first one was set. This is threes. This is again the new sound in this poem. So we call it B. Now the little birds are piping yet. Now it seems like the first sound, set yet, set yet. Sounds are the same, rhyming are the same, so therefore we call this a too. They are the same, so we call this a. Now among the bushes and trees, so trees and trees, trees, sounds seem the same, therefore we call this B. There is a cuckoo and one or two thrushes. Thrushes, rushes, and gushes. So thrushes is again a new sound heard. The first sound in the poem was set, which was a completely new sound. We gave its name a. Then we heard another sound that was trees. So trees was again a new sound for us. So we called that B. Then on the third number there came yet. Yet seemed to be having some rhyming with the word set, so we call that a again because they were they sound the same. And the trees, both of the trees and trees sound the same, so we call that ba. But this is the thrushes. Thrushes is a new sound which is being heard in this poem. Neither it's like a nor it's like B. So therefore we call it C because it's a new sound, so we call it C. Then again the next sound is rushes. So rushes, thrushes sound the same, so we call this C. Gushes, this also sound the same, so we call this C again. Now cry, set, trees, thrushes, none of them is matching with the sound cry, so we call this D because this is a new sound, we call it D. And the last one sky, cry, they are the same, so this is also D. So now look at the rhyming pattern. This is the rhyming pattern, the rhyming scheme of this poem. A, B, C, D, D. This is what the poem has its rhyming pattern. Find the odd one out in each of the following lists. According to their pronunciation, those sounds which have the same pronunciation, they have to be left, and the sound which is odd, so have to be find out. Like look at the list: set, mat, det, yet, get, eat, threat. So all the sounds are the same except for the pronunciation eat. So eat is out in this. Number B, phrase, is, piece, trace, phrase, peas, breeze. So I think peace is out of the category. All the sounds are ending with z sound and peace is ending with s sound. Once again, rushes, gushes, bushes, crushes, flushes, thrushes. All the sounds are nearly the same. This is a little bit tricky. All the sounds seem the same, but bushes is ending with another one. Just like look at again, rushes, gushes, bushes. All the sounds are starting with a sound. The second syllable of all the sound is a, while in the bushes the second syllable is o. The first syllable, sorry, not the second, the first syllable. Rush, gush, crush, flush, thrush, bush. So the first syllable sound of the bush is O. Therefore, it's out. Number D. Die, sky, cry, fry, high, nay, buy. So nay is out in this list. Working with words. Use these words in sentences of you down. There are the words. We have to use them in sentences. Set. He set a book on the table. B. Far off. Far off can be used in two senses. Far off means far in time, going back in time, or very far, farther in distance. So in both cases it can be used. I wish to visit far off countries. Dur mamalik. Away countries. C. Among. In the middle of many things we call it among. Once between, in the middle of two things, and among in the middle of many things. So among. He collected some precious stones among the bushes. Number D. Gushes. Water sound. Water, when water is pouring, that sound is called the gushing. Water gushes from, or the water pouring is called the gushes. Water gushes from the springs in March. Water comes out of the springs in March. Number E. Hollow. Hollow, the empty place. The fox hid in a hollow tree. Using yet. We have to use yet in a sentence. Use yet and write the following. Number 1. The man has still not finished the word. So if you used yet in a sentence, so the structure of the sentence will be like, the man has not finished the word yet. Or you can change the structure. You can also say, the man has not yet finished the word. Yet can also be used after the not. The man has not yet finished the word. Or the man has not finished the work yet. Both are right. Number B. Faiza has still not told her parents. Faiza has not told her parents yet. Faiza has not yet told her parents. Munir has still not left the hospital. Munir has not left the hospital yet. And so on. You can see here. Verbs. Underline the verbs in the following. If you still don't know what a verb is, so there is another video in this channel you can watch that's related to the lexical, the auxiliary and the modal auxiliary verb. You can watch the verb for more detail. But verb is the action, the static, or a word that shows a tense in a sentence. So let's find out in the first sentence. Once upon a time there was a man who lived in a village. Was and lived in this sentence, they are the verbs. In the second sentence, one day in the forest, he was chopping down a tree for his fire. Was and chopping, both are the verbs. He felt very hungry in the afternoon and wanted some food. Felt and wanted are the verbs. Suddenly he saw a black cloud coming towards him. Saw coming. Heavy rain poured down, and the man took shelter under the tree. Took and poured. Then he noticed the fruit in the tree and ate some. Noticed and ate. When the rain stopped, he picked up his axe and went home. Stopped, picked, went. All these are the verbs in these sentences. And thank you for watching.